An unmanned combat aerial vehicle, also known as a combat drone or battlefield UAV, is an unmanned aerial vehicle that is used for intelligence, surveillance, target acquisition, and reconnaissance and carries aircraft ordnance such as missiles, ATGMs, and/or bombs in hardpoints for drone strikes. These drones are usually under real-time human control, with varying levels of autonomy. Unlike unmanned reconnaissance aerial vehicles, UCAVs are used for both drone strikes and battlefield intelligence. Aircraft of this type have no onboard human pilot, as the operator runs the vehicle from a remote terminal. Equipment necessary for a human pilot is not needed, resulting in a lower weight and a smaller size than a manned aircraft. Many countries have operational domestic UCAVs and many more have imported armed drones or have development programs underway. One of the earliest explorations of the concept of the combat drone was by Lee de Forest, an early inventor of radio devices, and U.E. Sanabria, a TV engineer. They presented their idea in an article in a 1940 publication of Popular Mechanics. The modern military drone as known today was the brainchild of John Stuart Foster Jr., a nuclear physicist and former head of the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory LOD. In the 1973 Yom Kippur War, Israel used unarmed U.S. Ryan Firebee target drones to spur Egypt into firing its entire arsenal of anti-aircraft missiles. This mission was accomplished with no injuries to Israeli pilots, who soon exploited the depleted Egyptian defenses. In the late 1970s and 80s, Israel developed the Scout and the Pioneer, which represented a shift toward the lighter, glider-type model of UAV in use today. Israel pioneered the use of unmanned aerial vehicles for real-time surveillance, electronic warfare, and decoys. The images and radar decoying provided by these UAVs helped Israel to completely neutralize the Syrian air defenses in Operation Mole Cricket 19 at the start of the 1982 Lebanon War, resulting in no pilots downed. In the late 1980s, Iran deployed a drone armed with 6 RPG-7 rounds in the Iran-Iraq War. Impressed by Israel's success, the US quickly acquired a number of UAVs, and its Hunter and Pioneer systems are direct derivatives of Israeli models. The first UAV war was the first Gulf War, according to a May 1991 Department of the Navy report. At least one UAV was airborne at all times during Desert Storm. After the Gulf War successfully demonstrated its utility, global militaries invested widely in the domestic development of combat UAVs. The first kill by an American UAV was on October 7, 2001, in Kandahar. In recent years, the US has increased its use of drone strikes against targets in foreign countries and elsewhere. As part of the war on terror, in January 2014, it was estimated that 2,400 people have died from US drone strikes in 5 years. In June 2015, the total death toll of US drone strikes was estimated to exceed 6,000. Note: some of these are not aircraft prototypes but technology demonstrators that are not expected to enter service. The Israeli Air Force, which operates a squadron of Hermes 450s out of Palmachim Air Base south of Tel Aviv, has adapted the Hermes 450 for use as an assault UAV, reportedly equipping it with 2 Hellfire missiles or, according to various sources, 2 Rafael-made missiles. According to Israeli, Palestinian, Lebanese and independent reports, the Israeli assault UAV has seen extensive service in the Gaza Strip and was used intensively in the Second Lebanon War. Israel has not denied this capability, but to date, its policy has been not to officially confirm it either. Tyrannies is a British demonstrator program for unmanned combat air vehicle. Bay describes Tyrannisa's role in this context as following. This £124 million 4-year program is part of the UK government's strategic unmanned air vehicle experiment and will result in a UCAV demonstrator with fully integrated autonomous systems and low observable features. The Tyrannies demonstrator will have an MTOW of about 8,000 kilograms and be of comparable size to the Bay Hawk, making it one of the world's largest UAVs. It will be stealthy, fast, and able to deploy a range of munitions over a number of targets, as well as being capable of defending itself against manned and other unmanned enemy aircraft. The first steel was cut in September 2007 and ground testing started in early 2009. The first flight of the Tyrannees took place in August 2013 in Woomera, Australia. The demonstrator will have 2 internal weapons bays, with the inclusion of full autonomy. The intention is thus for this platform to be able to think for itself for a large part of the mission. Joint Unmanned Combat Air Systems, or JUCAS, was the name for the joint U.S. Navy, U.S. Air Force Unmanned Combat Air Vehicle Procurement Project. JUCAS was managed by DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. In the 2006 Quadrennial Defense Review, the JUC